Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about work life. Yay, that thing you probably avoid when you come onto YouTube because you don't want to be talking about working life. I know a lot of you guys are my age. I know a lot of you have finished or are starting university. You're thinking about your career paths and life choices, and I don't want to avoid it because it's a boring topic. I want to face it head on and try and make it a bit more fun and lighten the situation. I don't quite know how, but I'll try. An app called Debut gave me the idea to make this type of video and inspired me to talk about this and be more open about what I think when it comes to life after university and jobs seeking for a life when you finish partying and studying, all that good stuff. So basically, in short, the app is for students and people who've just graduated to find the perfect internships and job opportunities, but in the most unique way I think I've ever seen. They use this thing called talent spots and even games that you can play, and the top prize for these games is a internship opportunity. Like, that is cool. That is really cool. This is how it should be done. Just saying. Up until now, we've been doing it wrong this whole time. So one of the good things about this is the fact that they approach you for once. It's a nice feeling to know that potential job opportunity has said, hey, we like you, like, why don't you apply for us? But in the meantime, let's get into the video and we will discuss that later, and I will show you more in depth how cool it is. I want to discuss some things that I feel like need to get shoved in the corner and forgotten about, because I want to discuss graduate jobs myths that you've probably heard plenty of times before and want to know whether they're true or not. Myth number one, doing a degree guarantees you a good job. This is a very low start, I'm aware, but it's important to get it out of the way. It's not as if you're going to graduate and then bam, you're working for the highest of highest companies in your biggest dreams. But on the flip side, if you're studying something like medicine and you get a medicine degree, the chances you're going to get a job in medicine is ridiculously high. Obviously. You have to continue working hard after you finish studying to strive for that job that you really would like. I don't want that to put you off though. I'm basically saying you've got more chance as a graduate to get a good job, but you still have to work for it, and you don't kind of finish, sit back and wait for everyone to come running, because you still need to put that bit of push in whilst having a little bit of luck, hopefully. And just like all these other graduates who get these amazing jobs, you can have that opportunity too. Myth number two, if you don't go to a certain university, you're not going to get a good job afterwards. One of the most stressful things about picking university is choosing the right one, because you want to be taken seriously and you want employers to see the degree you've got, realise where you studied and take you more seriously, which is true, it will help. But on the flip side, once again, there are other factors too, such as local ties to nearby universities or institutions with strong reputations in certain professional fields. So you kind of just got to see what's best for what you want to do in your area. But if you attended university somewhere that maybe wasn't your first choice, don't let this part of the process, which is finding somewhere to work, freak you out. Myth number three, there are no jobs for graduates. But this is a very popular one, but I have some data to throw at your faces. In 2013, 193,890 graduates were working 6 months after graduation, and 124,700 of those were in professional level roles. That's a lot of people. However, the one we want to hear about is the unemployment rate for graduates, right? From 2012 to 2013 was 7.3%. That is dinky. Therefore, most graduates get jobs after graduation. At least it's a bit of inspiration. If they can do it, you can. And don't be that 7%. Don't be silly. Get out there, you willy. And the last myth, which is my personal favourite, everyone has a degree these days. This one really frustrates me, but I understand why people say it, because it does seem that everyone goes to university these days and everyone seems to disappear into the land of uni. But I also have some more data to throw at you. Can you tell I've been doing my research for this video? There was a survey called the Annual Population Survey in 2014, and only 1 in 3 of the UK adult population has a degree. But that means fewer than half of students currently aged 14 to 18 will ever go to university. Most of the population doesn't have a degree. and never will. Something to be a bit more happy about now that you're rocking that certificate, which I know you've hung up on your wall next to your graduation photo, right? I have. Just saying. Mum, do you believe in me now? But now I want to kind of give you some more serious advice, even though that was serious advice, but this is more serious advice on what I feel would help you now you are looking for some monies, because my God, you've used all that student loan on drinking and partying and now you're like crap. But my own personal advice would be that you should make sure you're very specific and have made a in-depth decision about what you want to do, and you see that vision and route to your dreams and just bloody run for it. Put all your heart, effort and soul into what it is you want to do and what you need to do to achieve it. And as well as that benefiting you, because you're going to be putting a lot of effort into something, and when people do that, guess what? Things happen. Employers also don't like a vague application. They want someone who knows what they're doing, knows their stuff, where their goal is. They love people with drive and ambition. And that's why in your applications, you demonstrate your passion and knowledge for that particular career path, which also goes hand in hand with my next piece of advice, to not think about your first job and the first thing you apply for as your defining one. It's sort of like when you start the new year and you're in January and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna make this so perfect. And then by the time the middle of January comes round, you start doing things that are completely opposite to your New Year resolution, and then you start going downhill and thinking, oh well, if I've gone downhill this early, I'm just going to get worse, so I may as well give up. People kind of have that attitude when it comes to jobs. They think the first thing they're going to apply for and get is going to be the one that determines their career path, so the one that determines the rest of their life. But it won't. The world of work will change, and it's probably better for you to think about what you want to be doing in the next 12 months. I know people always say to you, what do you want to do for the rest of your life and all this? Just, do you know what, just ignore them. I like to think about it as kind of like a stepping stone, and I like to think of things as the year progresses. So when someone says to me like, so why are you doing this? What's your goal at the end of this? I'm like, my goal is to enjoy what I'm doing, leave me alone. Make mistakes and develop on your career path as you go, because it is a continuous process. Try and seek for people who are in the career that you want to be. So look out for people who you know is doing what you want to do. It's perfectly fine to tell someone that you're inspired by them. I mean, they won't mind you talking to them if you start with that. If someone came up to you and said, can I just talk to you because you're my big inspiration, you're going to be like, yeah. Kind of discuss how they got there, what they did to get to the career that they're on, and whether they might know any opportunities themselves that are coming up, because they're in that industry. They would know and be able to help you with that. Possibly. It's worth a shot. Then, even if they can't help you, you'll have contacts. Networking is so important. I cannot stress to you how important networking is. It is important not to give up on your dream job, whatever that happens to be, even if you don't quite know what it is yet and you have some sort of idea of where you want to be heading. Let's say I wanted to be an animator, which I don't, because oh my gosh, I tried to do animation in college. It failed so bad. But let's say I wanted to do that. And my first goal is to kind of be a self-employed freelancer, making various projects for people, for clients. That's my first little goal. But I know in the back of my head, I want to be working for a TV show. I like, that's my mission, but you know that is your dream goal. A lot of people aren't very open about what they want to do. They kind of keep it in the bottom of their heart or like the back of their head, because like they know it wouldn't happen. Like they know they'd have to move to London to get that. They know they would have to have a heap ton of experience for that, and they shut it down immediately because they're like, I couldn't get that. Who am I kidding? But that's not the point. You should never rule out what it is you want to achieve if you're always going for what you want at this point in time. Like if I was wanting at the moment to work for my own clients to make animation videos for, I could do that. That is my mission at this point in time, and then that will gain me experience. It will gain me a portfolio to show to bigger people who I could possibly work for as part of a production team, and then when I'm part of that production team, who knows, one of those people may have a contact with a TV production house who is looking for someone they can have on their team. Like, you don't know where things are going to go. As long as you're always looking at the situation and realizing what you need and chipping little bits of what you need at a time. So if I know that I probably need to improve on my skills on that bit a bit more, then I can start a course on that alongside what I'm doing already. Or if I know I'm probably going to need to drive to get that job because it involves lots of travelling, then get the driving licence. Little things at a time that build up and make you more close to where it is you want to be, and what it is you keep shutting off at the back of your head and saying, I probably can't do that because blank, blank, blank. Everyone seems to know what they want to do. Like I just said to you, everyone has something in the bottom of their hearts that they want to do. But if you're one of those people that actually don't, whatever it is that your passion and interest is in, just work and work and work at it and just do whatever it is that you want to do now, then you're going to learn more about yourself by working on your interests and your hobbies and your passions, because that's where you make mistakes. That's where you learn where your skills are. That's where people will tell you what you're good at and what you're bad at. And that last bit of advice leads me on back to the sponsor of this video, which is Debut. So what I've decided to do is show you a little bit of the app on screen to give you a bit of understanding. So this is what your profile and talent spot page will look like. A talent spot page is basically where you actually get emails saying this company is interested in you, and do you know how refreshing that is to hear? But this app will give you the opportunity for people to approach you for once, be recognised from the information that you put in on the app, which can I just say is so much easier than doing a bloody CV. So here's a list of some of the people that have said, hey, we like you, would you like to do this, do that? And it's just a lot of opportunities for different things. This part, which is the genius of all geniuses part, companies release games on the app to test how good a candidate you are in a fun and engaging way. So how different is that to any other thing ever? I love that. So how did you get the job you're in? How did your employer recognise your talents? Oh, you know, not much. We just played a game. So then through this, you can gain prizes for playing the games, which include things like vouchers and internships. Some examples of these internship opportunities that you can earn are with some really big companies such as Microsoft, Vodafone, EY, L'Oreal, Bloomberg, Arcadia, Network Rail, O2, Barclays, Sky. For example, at the moment in the games section, there's currently one game that's live. That's not all you can play. There's going to be more that's available, and if you just keep checking, you get the opportunity to play some. So as I said, the link is down there in the description. Feel free to use it. You've got nothing to lose. It's free. It will take a little bit of your time. That is me totally done with talking about career advice. I'm not a professional in any way, so please don't run off with my advice as if it's going to change your life, because I mean, if it does, then great, but if it doesn't, I'm sorry, I never promised you that. Okay, and I will see you in 2 days time, the day after tomorrow. Subscribe to this channel and you can be notified when I make a new video.